So, good morning to Nandal Gadar here. So, once again, I welcome you all on behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology in this 2 days workshop funded by NAC. So, now we're going to start the second session of day 2. So, it is good to invite Dr. M. Ramakrishna, Dean IQAC of Vinyan University, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, to this online session. We are very much thankful to you, sir, for accepting our invitation, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. M. Ramakrishna has more than 20 years of teaching and industrial experience. His experience in IQAC is going to give exposure to full self-study report during the session. Let me read the brief profile of the speaker. Dr. Ramakrishna graduated in mechanical engineering from VR Siddhartha Engineering College. He is the man from IITs, masters from IIT Delhi and doctoral degree from IIT Roorkee. The outcome from PhD is technology transferred by Uttarakhand government in collaboration with IIT Roorkee for creating employment in the Uttarakhand Himalayan region. He started his career with industrial experience in production department in the Jindal Saw Pipes Division, Nasik. Dr. M. Ramakrishna served as principal for the Wazir Sultan Engineering College, Khammam, and Nana Pranani Venkatrao College of Engineering and Technology, Tenali, Guntur district. His administrative abilities are well recognized and promoted him as Dean Intern Quality Assurance Cell from 2016 to till date. Dr. M. Ramakrishna escalated Vinyan University to next level by attaining prestigious accreditations and rankings both at national and international level. He served as Chief Coordinator for ABBOT Accreditation, Chief Coordinator for QS1 Gauge Accreditation, Chief Coordinator for NBA Tyron Accreditation, Chief Coordinator for NAC Accreditation Cycle 2, Nodal Officer for UGC Expert Committee Visit 2017 and 18, Chief Coordinator for UGC 12B, AICT Approval Process, NIRF, India Today, I3RC Times, R World Ranking, Career 360, ARIA Ranking, Hands of the Week Survey, for the period 2018 to 23, 21 to 25. Visited Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. He is a chairman of Green Audit, Safety Audit, Environmental Audit of University, IAO accreditation, international rankings such as THE, QS IGAS, Times Higher Education. Participation in outcome-based education ranking 2021, participation in Career 360, and UA ranking for 2022. The university is awarded with NAC A+ grade with a score of 3.49. NBA accreditation for 5 UG programs, NIRF rank of 27, etc., which is an indication of a relentless effort put in by Dr. M. Ramakrishna, Dean IQAC. Apart from all this, Dr. M. Ramakrishna is recognized as NAC Assessor, which is an acknowledgement. In addition to all the above administrative duties, Dr. M. Ramakrishna never neglected his career growth in terms of research and academics. Dr. M. Ramakrishna guided 7 PhD scholars, published 55 peer-reviewed articles with 1,125 citations in reputed journals. 2 patents are published. Dr. M. Ramakrishna also served as Professor and Head of Department of Mechanical Engineering from 2014 to 2018 in Vinyan University, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Dr. M. Ramakrishna achieved several accolades to the Department of Mechanical Engineering during his tenure as head of the department. Some of them developed the Regulation 16 and Regulation 13 curriculum for the department, established Center of Excellence in Composite Materials and Characterization, established 3D printing laboratory, international student exchange program in Korea, France for students of mechanical engineering, guided students in banking first prize in national level Think Nano Pitch Talk hosted by ISC Bangalore. He is also a coordinator for South Zone Vice Chancellor Meet 2017. He is also a co-convener for convocation of during the year conducted 2016 as well as 8th convocation, 9th convocation of the Vinyan University. So, sir believes in a quote that is nothing but dedication and hard work are the step to success. So, with no further delay, we will hand over the session to Dr. Ramakrishna, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your introduction. So let me share my presentation, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, sir. I am audible. Shall I
Yes,
start?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all the participants, and thank you very much for Ramco Institute of Technology and especially Dr. Sukumar sir for giving me this opportunity. And today our workshop is on role of NAC in enhancing the quality in higher education institutions. So my topic is on the role of IQAC in quality enhancement and assurance in higher education institutions. So if you look at the both the things, IQAC, frankly speaking, is a baby to the NAC, and NAC is enforced all the institutions to have internal quality assurance cell in the institutions, and they're given a clear-cut guidelines to all the institutions. They mentioned about the composition, they mentioned about the kind of functions, they mentioned about the strategies, they mentioned of the features of IQAC. So most of the colleges, university, and the other people, they will think that IQAC meant for only the collection of the data and as well as the kind of submission of the same data to the NAC or NBA or NIRF kind of thing. If they think, or maybe the other people in the same institution, if they think like that, it is a wrong perception. IQAC has to do a lot of work. If they implement the quality kind of improvements in the institution will grow like anything with all the commitment and sincerity from the cell of IQAC. So let us go to the section first thing. So both the places we are talking about the quality. So we'll go to the first slide. And the kind of quality circle and the quality kind of thing implemented in the Japan business community in the year 1950 and 1960s during that period. And they succeeded in the manufacturing industry.
Sir,
Yeah.
sorry, I think slide, for me, slide is
Can you make it as a slideshow, sir, please?
slide so, but next slide it won't go, sir.
It's not moving for us.
Just a minute, sir.
Oh, okay, now it is okay, sir. Now
It's okay,
second
sir?
slide. Okay, sir. Okay.
It's okay, sir, right now?
Right now, okay, sir, but it is
Make
not in the
slides.
full screen. Full screen, it is not coming, sir.
But I made it as full
Full
screen.
screen. Okay, no problem, sir. You can start. Okay, we can able to visible. Okay, no problem.
It's visible, sir, full screen?
No, sir. No, sir.
Otherwise, shall I share the PPT if that is the case?
Sir, so hope you can go with the share screen, sir. Rather than share window, you can go with share screen, sir.
Just a
So I
minute.
hope you went with share that particular window. So you close the sharing, sir. Again, you go with share the entire screen, and then you make it as a slideshow, sir. And now, then it's possible, sir.
Share screen, enter screen.
Yeah, yes, sir. Please.
Right now, it's okay, sir?
And now you please go with slideshow, sir.
Is it visible,
Yes,
sir? Right now?
yes,
Okay,
yes, sir.
Okay,
Good,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Like a Japanese business community, they introduced this concept of quality, sir. The kind of quality circles and other things. Later, it spread to American and European business communities. And the kind of entire thing spread to higher education thereafter, after 1990s. The prime agenda, if you look at the quality in higher education, has become the prime agenda all over the countries. Why? Because they want to give the kind of best education to the stakeholders. And if you look at the kind of higher education, it is leading to the social development, societal developments, and as well as they want to attract the global attention and to the issue of quality higher education system. Higher education institutions are constantly under pressure to meet stakeholders. Let us say they want to have quality. All the stakeholders nowadays, they are having a lot of technology within their hands, and they know which college is performing very well and which college is getting good ranks and which college is accredited with NAC, NBA or NIRF rankings, all the parameters. So because of that, they are under a lot of pressure. At the same time, they are also facing a lot of problems. The problems in enrollment, student enrollment, inadequate funding from the central government, state government, and gradual withdrawal of state support. Means if it is a aided colleges, slowly the government is withdrawing their support. And at the same time, a lot of players are coming into the picture of higher education. Means international universities are coming, like training programs are entering into the picture. And at the same time, a lot of marketization is happening across the nation as well as across the globe. And if you look at the kind of era of the institution, as per the NAC right now, around 40,000 plus institutions are there. And if you look at the public and private universities, 1,000 plus universities are there. And autonomous colleges, affiliated colleges in higher education, 40,000 institutions are there. And if they want to maintain the kind of same quality, and they want to give they want to assure, and as well as they want to sustain the quality, they should have the kind of internal quality assurance system. This assurance system will led by IQAC. So right now, if you look at the kind of transformation is happening in our education system. Right now, recently, government has launched National Education Policy 2020. And previous session, one of our participants mentioned about asked one question. Multiple exit, multiple entries, a lot of reforms are going on. What kind of files we have to maintain towards NAC, NBA, as well as ISO. So if you look at the kind of facility, right now, recently, 2 days back, Professor Jagdish Kumar of UGC, the chairman of UGC, honorable chairman of UGC, he clearly mentioned about one thing. After BTech also, straight away they can go and opt PhD, subject to the kind of credit requirements. So these are the things are happening in higher education system, and India is focusing under the leadership of our honorable Prime Minister. They want to insist the higher education system. And at the same time, if you look at the thrust towards the education is changing. Earlier, all the colleges and all the universities and small degree colleges also, they focused on the employability. The shift is going towards the multi-skill, multidisciplinary program, multiple exit, modular courses, and they are also emphasizing on the lifelong learning basis kind of aspect. And why it is required? Why quality is required in the education? So as per the Astin, they clearly mentioned about there are 4 conventional excellence of quality in education. Excellence as resources. What kind of resources? The first thing is the resources like infrastructure resources and research facilities, faculty, human resources, as well as the reputation of the management, reputation of the institution. And if they established 10 years back, what kind of reputation they have, and 1 year back also, what kind of management, the management are from the top class industries, or maybe the kind of political background kind of thing, or maybe academician. And they look at the kind of excellence of the outcome of the institution during the last 5 years, 10 years, how the institution is emerging. And overall as a content, if they have the kind of any kind of analysis or maybe any kind of report, what kind of content they have during the last inception or maybe last few years. If you look at the institution, they're going to be rated based on the student knowledge, how we are percolating student knowledge, personality development, as well as the faculty members and the pedagogical ability and productivity. And most of the education reformers, they group the quality under the following heads. There are 5 heads they mentioned about exceptional high standards. And we can also compare these kind of thing. The college is there. We can compare with the high standard colleges. Right now, if you look at our NAC, right now high standards we are comparing with the college which accredited, the institution which accredited with A++, as well as we are also looking at the top 200 NRF institution, if it is an engineering one. And at the same time, consistency. If you have the set of kind of process or maybe set of kind of goals, what kind of consistency you are having, you are reaching your goals, that also is coming under the picture. The fitness for purpose is also one of the parameter. The value for money, stakeholders are there. They are paying 1 lakh rupees for completing their graduation per year as towards the tuition fee. The stakeholders are looking into this aspect also. What kind of transformations are taking place since the inception, as well as if you look at the year by year, how the institution is progressing. So based on this, the reformers are grouped all the quality into these parameters. So if you come to the definition, defining the quality in higher education, generally, if you look at the kind of manufacturing industry, we are looking at the material, the input process will be there, output, the product. The predefined needs are there. Based on the needs of the customer, the product will be there. And based on the requirement of the product, the material will be selected. And if you come to the education, education is not a commodity. And in the education, every element means the kind of human resource. So the human resource in the input is students, the process is teaching learning process, research, and all the aspects will be there. And the output means the kind of graduation, the kind of placement opportunity, higher education, entrepreneurship aspects, and as well as the kind of research output from the faculty members. All these things, we are focusing on the only human being, the transformation of the human being from input to the output will be there in our education. So that's what I clearly mentioned about the meaning that the standard for education is going to be the measurement, and at the same time they are going to define the asterisk which are going to focus on the characteristics as well as varies from nation to nation. India will have one kind of standard procedures, and right now we are under UGC. If you want to be an autonomous institution, affiliated colleges under the JNTU or maybe the kind of universities, and universities in the type where we are having 4 types of universities. State government universities, central universities are there, state private universities are there, deemed universities are there. And for everything, they have given a kind of regulation. The standard means the kind of regulations we have to follow. And the kind of, they laid down some procedures for running of any kind of institution. And at the same time, all these statutory and regulatory bodies, they're focusing on the kind of quality, imparting the quality education for the stakeholders. So that is one of the things. And if you look at the parameters NAC has measuring the institution in the following 7 criteria. So all the people are aware of it. We have curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovation and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and provision, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. There are 7 criteria. If you look at the affiliated colleges, they have only 55 metrics and 34 quantitative, 21 qualitative. If you look at autonomous, they have 72 quantitative and 35 qualitative. If you look at universities, they have 79 quantitative, 36 qualitative. So these parameters they have divided and they grouped, they have given 12 manuals. And in the 12 manuals, one is university, autonomous, affiliated, Sanskrit is there, dual mode university is there, open learning is there, legal education and medical universities are there. Like this, a lot of reforms they have given. And they are also going to change those aspects in the upcoming years. Why? Because NAC and NBA are going to merge under one accreditation council that is called as NAC. So the quality of the higher education system or education institution will be measured by NAC in these aspects, 7 aspects. If you come to the main our concept, the role of IQAC. So IQAC is not a cell, and what we are thinking is collecting agency. And it is one of the nodal agencies simply submitting the information. And they are collecting from various sections and various units or various departments of the institution. So that is not the role of IQAC. IQAC means they should have the kind of proper vision. They should have the kind of proper strategy kind of activity. And they should have the kind of benchmarking of each criteria or each metric. All these things they need to have, and they should also focus on the quality manual, the quality policy kind of aspect. And at the same time, from the institution, this IQAC cell is the nodal agency which should take the accountability of the institution for submitting it. Right? Let us say from any unit they submitted information to IQAC. Simply they can't submit the straight away what they have received. They have to look into the aspects, whether they reach to the benchmarking or maybe some kind of laggings are there, or maybe the document is not up to the level as per the standard operating procedure laid down by either NBA, either NAC or maybe UGC. All these aspects, IQAC has to look into it. Then only the quality can be enhanced as well as sustained, as well as the IQAC can assure the kind of quality in the institution. If you look at the parameters, internal quality assurance system as well as establishment, IQAC is developing quality manual and IQAC to develop the vision and mission, and the role of IQAC for developing of this quality policy, as well as IQAC to address external quality assurance and internal. The title itself is internal quality assurance, and these internal quality assurance cell is there. Cell is IQAC, but it has to take care of external quality assurance also. And at the same time, the last thing is accountability of the IQAC on behalf of the institution towards reaching the kind of external quality assurance as well as the statutory and regulatory norms. So we will enter into the IQA, the section. IQA, and some of the portion covered by a previous speaker, but still I want to give some kind of, I want to throw light on these aspects. If we look at the internal quality assurance, it is a unit, so which will measure the quality, which will look into the quality management system of the higher education institution, and if they can adopt some of the models given by the eminent people. You can say quality management, total quality management, and some institutions are having ISO 9001 2015 series, and some European institutions, they are following the European Foundation for Quality Management Excellence model. Some standards are following, they are following the balanced scorecard, and Malcolm Baldrige model, and Sarvakwal, amongst others. These are some of the quality models you can also follow. But in India, generally we used to follow ISO 9000 series, and at the same time, some of the IQAC units, they are also implementing the total quality management system. So if you look at the responsibility of IQ units, IQA, internal quality assurance units of the institution, to plan and supervise the implementation of the overall quality management of the institution. And if you go to the IQA, QAS system, quality assurance system, it has two sections. One is external quality assurance, another one is internal quality assurance. So one will take care of a national and international level, the quality assurance systems that will come under external quality assurance. And internal quality assurance system will have the kind of systems laid down by institution, the policies, the practices, and the kind of activities plan, the strategy document, and the strategic plan is there, or whether it is reached or not. All these things will be taken care by internal quality assurance system. This system will be looked by or maintained by IQAC, internal quality assurance cell. So if you look at the quality enhancement process, we talked about what is the role of IQAC. The first thing what we have to do, it is under 6 phases. Let us say one institution is there, X institution want to secure A+ grade. First thing they have decided to secure A+ grade. So for that, what kind of preparation is required? The first preparation is, what is their level? Today, the kind of institution status at what level? In all the aspects, it starts from, we are talking about NAC here. We can also talk about NBA, but we are focusing on the NAC. Criteria wise, it is there. Affiliated colleges, we have 55 metrics. In the 55 metrics, if you look at 34 are quantitative. In the quantitative, what is the current status of the institution? So we want to go for next 3-4 years, we want to go. Otherwise, cycle 2, we want to go. Or else, FRS, we want to go for that in the next couple of years. So we want to go, we want to secure A+ grade. That is a deciding factor. The preparation level is going to be the current situation, the current status of the institution. So we know our strength, we know our weakness, we know our opportunity, and as well as the challenge. We'll talk about our strength and weakness. Weakness means wherever we are not reaching to the quality measures of the NAC. So we have to focus on, we have to list out those actions. And these are, in these places, the institution is having some kind of deficiency, or maybe they're not reaching to the benchmarks given by the NAC. Recently, few days back, NAC has given benchmarks for the affiliated institution. Those are going to apply from 1st January onwards. They clearly mentioned, we need, these are the things, if you want to secure highest grade in the metric. Like this, they've given some parameters. All these things you have to prepare. Then you have to start. The start kind of thing, how we are going to start? We have to give the kind of directions to the various units. Units means head of the department, some sections are there. Example, you are having account section. Account section we have to give. These are the budget you have to allot for so activities. Green initiative to aspect one of the thing. And financial support given to the faculty members. So those kind of things. And we have to expand the same thing to all the sections of this one. We have to integrate. After integration of collection of the data from various sections, criteria wise, metric wise. And after that also we have to evaluate. Evaluate means, so we have prepared and we are reaching to the evaluation level. So after evaluation, we can come to one level. Okay, we are near to A+. We are almost crossed A grade, and we want to reach to A plus means we have to cross 3.26. So we are at 3.19. So what kind of measures we have to take to reach to the next level? So like this, it is a continuous process, and in all the aspect, IQAC has to do monitor the things, what kind of improvements are happening in all the sections as well as metrics. So that is one of the important thing. So now if you look at the system, IQAS, Internal Quality Assurance System, here the first thing is the top management of the institution should have the kind of direct control and commitment towards the excellence of the institution. Then only this system can work properly, the internal quality assurance system. So the main objective is, let us say, what are the objectives of the institution, how we can go, we can achieve that, and how can we succeed to reach our objectives, what are the changes needed for the success. Sometimes what will happen is, IQAS system is there, some of the problems are there, we identified. Some people will be there. No. Let us have one example I will quote. Some people are there, right now publications are there. As per the NAC recent affiliated kind of target, they mentioned about 1:10 publications are required. So some people will say that no, we are confined to only teaching, we don't want to publish any papers. So we are comfortable with this. But that is called as the change. And if you are not changing, and the kind of quality will not be improved, and we can't reach over the kind of desired targets, and what we are planning, we can't achieve. So let us say the kind IQAS should call for the quality system deployment. This is one of the things, we have to deploy that quality system across all these sections and all the units. And planning must be there, advanced planning. Let us say we want to submit when next 1 month or 2 months but towards NAC. No, that is not acceptable. Why? Because if you plan for 1 or 2 months or 1 month, and a lot of time is required, and we can't go for the kind of implementation of, and we can't go for the kind of improvement of a lot of activities or a lot of parameters in the institutions, we should have the kind of quality manuals, the IQAS system, and quality cost to plan. Let us say we want to establish the kind of a big robotic center in one of the institutions, but the kind of utility rate is very less, and at the same time the revenue of the institution is very less. So we can't go for that. But at the same time, you can also go for the sharing of the facilities with the other institutions. So that is also one of the strategy of the IQAC cell. Involvement of non-production operation. Let us say one unit is not functioning, one department is not functioning, it is not viable, and we have to motivate them. We have to give some kind of push to the department or push to the section to progress very well. And at the same time, we should have the kind of need-based effect analysis, where let's say any unit is having some kind of failure kind of thing towards it is moving, no students are there, nothing is there, and we have to look at the kind of 3 years or 4 years analysis. Then only we can take the kind of action. Otherwise, what will happen? 1 year no divisions are there. Example, entire country, they are facing the problems of lower admissions in mechanical, civil, and electrical engineering programs. Study can't, the management as well as the kind of higher people, they can't take the decision, we will close the mechanical, we will close the civil, or we will close some kind of AAA department, AAA programs. So we have to give some kind of chance, and how like any kind of improvement is there, how can we improve the kind of admissions into this aspect. And if they're weak at admissions, we can immediately we can strengthen their research activity. That is one of the important thing. Statistical process and control. And all the data, and we should do some kind of statistical analysis. We have to collect the data, and we have to do on a regular basis. We can't do at the 11th hour, and otherwise if you do it at 11th hour, we will have the kind of problem. And this system, internal quality assurance system, must cater the policies and procedure of quality assurance. We have to improve that one. And approval and monitoring and periodic review of programs and awards, how they are progressing, that also has to take a look at. And assessment of the students, especially the comprehensive continuous assessment of the students. Let us say some departments, some programs will implement that, some program will not implement that. That also we look into it. We have the kind of system has to cater. And quality assurance of the teaching staff. This is one of the important parameter. So let us say one institution established in 2000, 22 years gone. The faculty, those who are joined in the year 2000, he is not having any kind of publications. What kind of, he is not updated his qualification. Let us say he joined with MTech qualification, 22 years gone. Still you want to have the kind of MTech qualification. That also we have to look into it, the kind of publications, how he will be improved, whether he's attending conferences, workshops, faculty development program, that kind of aspect also, it has to look into it. And learning resources and student support. Learning resources is one of the, after post-COVID, during the COVID, lot of colleges, they implemented the kind of e-content development and support system kind of thing. And what kind of support we are giving for the students, for their personality development and career development cell is there or not, life skills improvement is there or not, some kind of physical fitness activities are there or not, NCC activity, all these things we have to look into it. The most important parameter is information system. We should have kind of a small ERP system should be available in the institution so that we can retrieve the data at any point of time. And the website, the institution website should have the kind of well-defined information as well as the kind of transparency about the institution. And overall, it has to look at the health of the institution. The health of the institution will be measured in various aspects. Let us say the kind of pass percentage of the students, the kind of placements, these are the outcome. We can say if you look into input process and output of the kind of education, and as well as if the institution want to progress, first thing is they need the kind of revenue. Revenue will come through the standard students admission. Student admissions means tuition fee and as well as research funding. All these things the system has to look at. So this time the kind of revenue is this one. So based on the revenue, these are the things you should allot for the research development or faculty development activities, infrastructure activities, or maybe student development activities. Like this, we have to, this system has to cater the needs of the institution for the process, for further enhancement. So we'll go to the NAC. Already mentioned establishment of IQAC. They clearly mentioned, NAC clearly mentioned every institution must have IQAC. NAC feels IQAC is the baby for them. They enforce the institution to have. Why they enforce the institution to establish IQAC cell? They want to maintain the quality what they achieved so far, and at the same time they want to sustain, and at the same time they want to enhance the kind of quality of the institution. So for that they need a point of contact. The point of contact is IQAC, internal quality assurance cell, which is taking care of internal quality assurance system as well as external quality assurance system. So both the things, these people, this cell is the kind of point of contact. This cell is responsible for executing, for satisfying all the norms laid down by the external as well as the kind of internal aspects. So if you look at the quality continuous process, and at the same time, this cell should look at the kind of whether the institution, if the institution has some kind of goals, whether it is reaching or not, this cell has to look into that aspect. And this cell should have the kind of institutionalization and about the quality enhancement as well as the kind of belongingness and participation. Most of the institutions, they're suffering the kind of sense of belongingness as well as the participation, as well as one more parameter that is the kind of owning up of the institution. So some faculty or some people, what they look at is, we are coming, yes, we are coming at 9 o'clock, we are going at 5 o'clock. And we don't want to stay beyond 5 o'clock. Yes, definitely, as per the regulations, and a lot of parameters will be there. And some institution will say that you put the biometric thumb and other things. But at the same time, if the institution is growing, the faculty also will grow. If the institution secures, let us say, one example I'll quote, if you want to have the kind of employment in NITs and IITs, NITs are focusing on top 100 institutions, top 50 institutions, NIRF ranked. Why? Because based on the NIRF ranking, they are shortlisting the resumes of the faculty members. And if the institution is accredited by NAC with A++ grade, you will have the kind of branding. Where you work, so institution, the institution is accredited with A++. You should own up the responsibility, the kind of responsibility belonging. Yes, I am from so-and-so Ramco College. I am from Vignan University. So my role is, yes, if the institution grows, we will also grow. If my profile will go, my profile will raise, the institution also will raise. Why? Because if I publish 10 papers, if I produce 7 PhDs, if I publish 2 patents, all these things will go to the institution level. Why? Because in criteria 3, all the parameters will be counted. And if you have the kind of 500 faculty, cumulative number will come. The institution rating also will grow. And at the same time, we are also growing. And the both sides it will be there. The student, the institution also should take care of the kind of faculty as well as the system, and it should also give the kind of freedom to the cell as well as the faculty members to initiate the quality activities. And at the same time, if you see here, if you want to progress, the kind of deficiencies which are existing in the institution, that has to be rectified. For that rectification also, the top management as well as the kind of other units of the institution should support. Then only the kind of progressive thing, and as well as the institution can compete with other institutions. The composition, let us say composition will be there. Say they'll identify some faculty member, a senior most faculty member, or some places, and we should have the kind of a diverse spectrum will be there. 4 or 5 departments are there. And from that, we have to pick up 3 to 8%. They should have like the people from management can be there, the people from mechanical, CSC, and EC department, chemistry department. We should have a mix of people in the IQAC. We should take the senior administrator, management representatives, social representatives must be there. The member secretary is going to play the major role. And he is the person who is going to motivate the IQAC team. So for that purpose, you should have the kind of self-belongingness as well as the owning of the responsibility of the institution. If you look at the team IQAC, the role of IQAC, the first important thing, the team should have the commitment. The commitment will come from the kind of team only. Not one person can't do anything. If you have the kind of 10 members should go in one line only. And at the same time, teamwork as well as the team building, and you can divide the entire process into the kind of agile aspects. You can assign the task to one member, and based on that, the member secretary should support the team, so that what will happen is that slowly the team will have a lot of exposure, and as well as it can focus on the quality enhancement as well as the sustained assurance of the institution. And we can have the kind of various quality assurance activities. If you look at the NAC criteria 1 to criteria 7, where are the kind of the team can identify the quality initiated aspect. That example I will say, curricular aspect is one of the parameter. You can say valued courses are there. We can identify valued courses. Okay, we can have the kind of benchmarking for the department wise. And a feedback system is another parameter. We can also motivate the departments or faculty members to take their students to field visits, field projects, and research project kind of aspect. And if it is a autonomous college, the revision of the curriculum, and curriculum revision is taking place, like involvement of stakeholders and outside experts, mix of industry and outside. That IKC team can say you should have the kind of mix of 50% industry, 50% academia. In academia also, eminent institutions, you can also call them. And you can propose those things. These are all coming under the quality aspects, quality activities in various criteria wise, various sections wise. You can also look into this aspect. Academics, infrastructure, research aspect, student support is one of the parameter. And governance also you can say, and green initiatives is one of the aspect. And you should have the kind of one model at the institution. And at the same time, this team should focus on the kind of continuous improvement with some kind of discipline. And at the same time, they should have the kind of adopt changes. The team should change based on the requirement of the statutory bodies as well as the accreditation bodies. And they should also percolate these kind of adopt changes across the faculty fraternities of the institution. Based on the global changes, immediately they have to adopt those changes. And as well as if you want to have the kind of excellence, we should have the kind of planning. So all these things are required if you want to have the kind of best enhancement of the institution. The principles of IQAC, the first important thing is promote shared value and attitudes. This is one of the thing. And if you look at the cycles, various cycles are there, cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. We should adopt the changes. We should fix the kind of next cycle target right now only after immediate grading. Most of the institutions, what they will do is, IQAC also what they will do is, accreditation completed. Okay, next 5 years will go. It is not like this. You should have the kind of next 5 years span immediately. Year-wise, what kind of benchmarking you are giving. And at the same time, the kind of leadership consists of all these students, academic and senior administrative officers. And the most important thing is central data we have to maintain. And it is the unit which is going to have all the data of the institution. And you know very well, ISO, as per the ISO model, plan, do, act, and you have to check and act. These are the strategies given by the NAC. You know very well the strategies of IQAC. We should focus on efficient, progressive performance of academic, administrative, and financial tasks. Quality of academic and research programs. What kind of quality of programs you are going to offer? Research programs, or maybe research strengthening of the institution. That kind of thing. Affordability of the programs and innovative teaching, learning, pedagogy to the stakeholders as well as the nearby society. Credibility of the evaluation procedures. Right now, what will happen is, you people are having control of examination cell. So that kind of audit, for that cell also we should go, IQAC has to take the initiation to go for the kind of procedure, evaluation, auditing kind of aspect. And at the same time, evaluation of the kind of various sections, academic section, or maybe a research section, infrastructure section, student support section. And various support structures also we have to give, establishment of career development cell. That is one other thing. Life skills also you can do. One more thing, you can get coaching centers. So these are all the support structures. And the most important thing right now, Government of India, they clearly mentioned of all the emerging institution, or maybe the kind of eminent institution, they can share their facilities. Some institutions are there, they are not having the kind of research laboratories. They can go and share the kind of laboratories of other institutions. These also we can focus, means research collaboration, academic collaboration. And IQAC can insist the kind of research team or research coordinator, or insist the people, those are taking care of collaborations. They can have these many research collaborations in this year, or academic collaborations in this year. Like this, we should progress. Functions, you know very well. One of the important thing, benchmark parameters. Feedback, you know very well. Curriculum feedback, IQAC is the only one section which is going to take care of all the feedback. This portion we are going to cover. We have to disseminate the information to all the stakeholders. We should organize quality workshops, intra workshops, seminars. We should have the documentation. The most important thing, if you look at the bottom, acting as a nodal agency. My sincere request to all the IQAC coordinators, those who have participated here, please take care of all these sections from regulatory body to ranking aspects. If you involve yourself into AICT approval process, if you involve yourself into state approval process, or if you involve yourself into university affiliation process, if you involve yourself into UGC 12B process, or autonomous process, or permanent affiliation process, like this, what will happen is, you will have the kind of overall command over the activities of the institution. So right now, most of the institution will focus on NAC. For NAC, IQAC is there or not. You prepare a PPT, you collect the data, you analyze, you submit the information, documentation, you create the links, you submit. If you involve in all these aspects, what will happen is, you are the only one person, in addition to the principal and to the management. You will have all the knowledge about the institution. So that what will happen is, point of contact will be the IQAC, so that any information is required from the outside. Outside means, we talked about external quality assurance systems. Internal quality assurance system means you only. So you can have the kind of overall command over the institution in all aspects. Otherwise, what will happen is, while interacting with the NAC peer team committee also, you are confined to only IQAC section of 6.5.5.1, 5.2. That will not suffice the kind of real IQAC. So you have to look into the overall aspects of the institution. If you involve yourself with a team of 8 to 10 members, if you divide the work into a team of 8 to 10 members, so that you will have a lot of command over the kind of all the processes. So you can look at the quality enhancement, quality sustenance, as well as the kind of satisfying the statutory bodies as well as the regulatory bodies. So for that purpose, what you should have in the institution, a management system, ERP kind of system you should have, and we should develop the kind of quality culture in the institution. The last but not least, you know very well, every year we have to submit annual quality assurance from the IQAC cell. And right now, the kind of, as per national education policy, the kind of teacher-centered approach to learner-centric environment approach is going. A lot of reforms are taking place at the national level. So in future, maybe next 1.5 years, all the institutions, affiliated institutions, they're going to adapt this kind of change. Operational features of the institution, it has to ensure the kind of effective as well as efficient kind of thing in the institution for maintaining high standards. I already discussed about all these 7 criteria. And if you look at the last one, IQAC should take the adequate care with regard to authenticity of the information. You should not take the data template. You should not take the documents straight away, sir. They have given the data and we are simply submitting to the outside agencies or external quality assurance system. That is not the role of IQAC. We should check properly. We should reject the documents based on the standard operating procedures, manuals given by the statutory and accredited bodies. And you should have the kind of document maintaining body at the institution level. On behalf of the institution, it is the one of the cell which is going to provide all the information. How it should act? It should have the kind of 2 phases, IQAC. The first phase is planning and operation. The second phase is data collection analysis. If you look at the planning, project plan means right now I want to go for NBA accreditation. That is my project, NBA planning. For that, what we should have? The kind of understanding of the manual given by the NBA and what we have right now. And what are the milestones, how we are going to reach to that level. And for that literature, okay, what kind of institutions are there in surrounding, or maybe the institutions which are accredited by NBA, 6 years, we can collect the data, how they are adopting the best practices, all these things, literature, we can do it. And based on this, some kind of indicators we have to identify. So if you look at the third point, institutional gap and SWAC analysis. NBA is for program accreditation. We can also look at the program accreditation also. So the kind of SWAC analysis for the program, they are not good at. You can say placement, they are not good at. And they are weak at teaching pedagogy, or they are not having innovative pedagogy. So those are the weaknesses we have to identify. At the same time, we have to collect the questionnaire from various stakeholders. So this is called as planning and preparation. So you have collected everything, you have given benchmarks, you have identified strength, weakness, everything. You asked all the units or all the departments, all the sections of the institution to prepare the documentation. So here the main thing will come. Most of the units, they will simply submit, they will alter the data templates given by either NAC or maybe NBA. They will not follow standard operating procedures. They will not follow the manuals given by the AICT or UGC. That part you have to look into it. So you have to read the questions, you have to read the data templates thoroughly, you have to consolidate it from all the departments, analyze. So after analyzing the total response, okay, for this response, we are going to achieve this one. So that is called as the data analysis part. So based on the part, let us say we are not reaching. So you can have, let us say the management asked you to go for immediately NBA next year. Sir, if you delay it for 1 more year, we will have 6 years of accreditation for NBA. We will have A++ accreditation for NAC. So those are the things we can project it to higher level management through strategic plan from the IQAC cell. So next one, right now we talked about IQAC, how we are going. So IQAC for continuous improvement. So up to cycle 1, you are preparing, you are planning, you are applying. The next one, we have to sustain. We have to assure. So for that, what they have to maintain? They have to maintain the same A+ accredited institution is there. They have maintained the standards for the next cycle. how they are going to maintain the next cycle. The first example, they have to look at the continuous quality enhancement. Under any activity, inactivity is there. There's some sections are not doing, not performing, and immediately you have to alert those sections, and you have to present in the regular meetings of the institution, or maybe regular meetings with the principal, and you should have the kind of record of the assessment reports given by the peer team members, or maybe deficiencies identified by the regulatory authorities. Just I want to, so next one is support further accreditation process. I want to show one document what we have done in our accreditation cycle 2. It is visible, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chapter 3, it is there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Chapter
Yes, sir.
3 is there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have derived, and in the first cycle, I want to give one story, sir. Our institution cycle 1, we secured 3.02, sir, in the year 2015. And during that time, IQAC established in 2013 only. We were not there, sir. What happened is, after first cycle, NAC has revised the manual, sir, in 2017. And they have gone for revised accreditation framework. Immediately, a team has been constituted. In that, they have given around 8 people support to us. What we have done is, our team sat for 20 days. We read all the manuals, procedures. During that time, no institution accredited based on the revised accreditation framework. And we don't know what kind of benchmarks are there, what kind of procedures are there. And during that time, NAC has not given not even a single standard operating procedure. And what we have done is, we read the manual. Based on the manual, we identified the kind of deficiencies, and we identified the weakness of the institution. We derived 450 action points, preliminary actions for assessment accreditation process. What they have done is, okay, we want to go for, we have to submit IQAC. We decided this factor in the year 2017, 2018. May we have given this one, sir. Based on that, we have derived the action point across all the criteria. So this is the general aspects. If you look at the kind of 1 to 27, it is some kind of committees, constitution is there, minutes we have to record, minority welfare committees we have to establish, SAST committees, some kind of NAC link, all these things we are out. What we put our target is institution to target rating of A+ from 3.6 to 3.5. These are our target we put in the year 2018. The team came accredited us in the year 2021, sir. So this is the general target we have given some committees. What we have done is criteria 1, and we identify some action point. Let us say one example I will quote. Agriculture engineering courses to be revised according to ICAR. Why? Because during the last 5 years, how many programs have to be revised? They have not revised. We immediately directed them to revise. And constitution of BOS, they are not having board of studies during that time. Immediately we asked them. Identification of the courses under ICAR, that has to be identified. Every department has to introduce innovative courses, modular courses, value-added programs, minimum 30 hours, and brochure of life skills. Like this, wherever the concept is there, this is related to criteria 1. Introduce gender equity courses, UG and PG programs, design a brochure for life skills, conduct workshop mapping of course outcomes. Guest faculty has to be identified, gender equity course, workshops. Like this, mechanisms to be created, structure feedback on syllabus. So, well, earlier we have the kind of physical, hard to copy kind of aspect. We want to go for a soft copy aspect. So, all the records, criteria 1, criteria 2. Finally, year-wise sanctioned faculty post, UGC norms, year-wise data, existing student data, and demand ratio. What are the demand ratio? How we are going to measure? Bridge program is there. So, how we are going to identify? Under ICT facility, establishment of ICT facilities. So, like this, existing ratio, what we have given, the documentation, we have to have the consistency with all the ranking agencies as well as IC. A manual for examinator automation system, student online registration for examinations, wherever we are having lagging. So this is about the criteria 2. If you look at the criteria 3, research promotion policy, wide publicity of circulars, faculty should be encouraged to pursue PDF PhD, and more than 250 research scholars to be admitted. So based on this fixing, number of scholars are eligibility as per the norms, where we can allot the scholars are there. we identified the kind of gap and how can we fill. Research agriculture database is there. Departments, FIST, they have to apply. So wherever the kind of thing is there, wherever the help we need, ECell to be given additional responsibility for governing incubation center, at least 10 startups. Like this, we decided around 4 years back. So this is one of the plan for criteria 3. These are the actionable points. So that's what on the first revenue generated consultancy, detailed NCC, NSS reports. Criteria 4, organize, calculate required classrooms and other things as per AACT norms, staff cabins, tutor rooms, new building to be completed, indoor stadium, yoga center, infrastructure of the committees, usage of institutional learning management system. And during that time, they asked for old manuscripts. Later, they removed this Shodh Ganga platform, MOE with that one, e-resources in the library. We have to strengthen that. And faculty members should have senior faculty in accordance with the national e-content. And we requested them, bandwidth to be expanded, action plan, write-up kind of aspect, sports and cultural regular basis. We have to use the kind of sports facilities, student support, and has to inquire about regarding the distribution of marks, 5.1 scholarships, effective feedback system, minimum of 2 workshops by alumni, compile the feedback reports, motivational sessions, and international, we have international students, what kind of cell, we have to establish that and reactivate the functioning of that one. Annual reports, PG to PhD, higher education, and GATE and GRE kind of thing. Coaches, we should have individual PDs for each sport. So this is about criteria 5. Alumni cell composition, dynamic active alumni coordinator, and criteria 6, vision and mission, develop arriving mission and vision, strategy to related before mentioned plan need to be prepared, uploaded. Organogram should be refined. So all these things we identified. FD should be conducted, and appraisal system should be there, and internal financial audit to be conducted, and annual report should be submitted, and the CO's attainment audit, AAA to be conducted. Like this, criteria 7, if you look at gender equity programs are there, we have to provide the tab gender equity, action initiated, alternative energy, wind energy, biogas, and we should have the kind of LED bulbs replacement. During that time, they asked about how many LED percentage of power generated to the LED. They asked about that. Waste management committee, budget allocated, sewage treatment plant. Like this, 450 action points we derived, sir. 450 action points. Out of 450, let us say we have given the month wise also. If you see here, June 18, July 18, August 18, September 18, the total number 18, no date, how many are there, and 450 action points. And what we have done is, before the NAC submission, out of 450, we have reviewed the entire thing also. 434 actions are delivered. 16 actions are not delivered. And we thought, okay, we are going to have A+, and we secured the trace bill. Like this, IQAC should have the kind of benchmarking, or maybe the kind of activity across the all criteria, across all the section. Academic dean academics is there, or maybe academic unit is there, research activity is there, research like department we can also divide. Teaching learning one aspect is there, and the programs revision is one aspect. Like this, we can divide that aspect. So if you have these kind of aspects, IQAC can have the kind of continuous improvement for the institution. And while preparing, we should have the kind of these quality objectives. We should know what kind of quality conscious, and we should have the consistency not only within the institution, what the institution has submitted to various agencies, and we should act as a catalyst, and we should have the kind of continuous approach, and time frame work also we have to do, and at the same time efficient, and the work is there, we should have the kind of outcome. Otherwise, simply they are doing continuous work and there is no outcome. That is also you should see progressive. You have given a kind of target, maybe a time frame, whether the progress is happening, and at the same time the information is credible. All these things we should look at. And here also the most important parameter of IQAC, role of IQAC, feedback collection. Feedback collection right now what we are focusing is IQAC generally most of the institution. Feedback on curriculum. Feedback on the existing facilities also we can do. We can also have the kind of infrastructure maintenance and other things. So just I want to show one thing. The feedbacks, let us say it is visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Visible,
these are
sir.
the things, sir. Feedback surveys, all the feedback surveys are there. If you click on anything, let us say example, I'll show, sir. It is visible, sir.
Visible, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you see here, electrical IT infrastructure, furniture, facilities, student details, employee, we can staff details, we can enter. The quality of fans and other things, rating, whether the problem is there or not, functioning is there or not. And if they have any problem, they can identify. This is one of the example I'm telling, sir. Next, you can say, let's say curriculum. The student can log into it, they can submit
Sir,
based on that. They
Sir,
can,
it's all automated one, sir. It is all
yeah, automated.
automated.
Everything is automated, sir. Everything
Yes,
is
sir.
automated.
Nice
It
to
is
see this.
available. It is available on the website, sir. Institution website.
Okay. Okay.
For everything, all these things are there.
Okay. So, thank you, sir.
All these things are automated, sir. It is visible, sir, right now. Sir, PPT is there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. Yes.
So we can have the kind of feedback from all the stakeholders. You can involve students, faculty members, non-teaching staff, even parents, alumni. All the sections are there. Based on the feedback, not only taking the feedback, sir. Feedback taken, we have to consolidate it, we have to analyze it. What kind of action taken? So based on that, we have done a lot of reforms in the canteen. Our canteen, we used to have 2 small canteens, sir. And after that, our management invested 2 crores and they constructed one international canteen aspect, sir. And they invited outside people also into the campus. So like this, a lot of reforms have been taking place. And for this also, IQAC has to play key role in this kind of collection of the feedback, not only confined to the academics. In the academics, not only curriculum, sir. Let us say if you are, if yours is an engineering institution, you can also go for the kind of feedback for POs and PSOs and other things, and exit feedback will be there, right? Indirect attainment, valued courses, internship, performance of the faculty, feedback on e-content, LMS. So you can take all these aspects. And like for example, let us say one of the important thing for everything, if you want to execute, the first thing is it has to identify the quality status of the institution, the current status, what kind of quality you have. And it has to, IQAC, the cell has to define its own benchmarks. Its own benchmark means the benchmark for the institution, institutional growth, for institutional quality enhancement, for institutional quality sustenance, institutional quality assurance. All these things it has to define. And we'll enter into the benchmark processor. Madam, earlier, madam also speaker covered, but I want to throw more light on benchmarking. So benchmarking, let us say these are a lot of deficiencies are there. Saturday will come to this one, sir. Why we need IQAC needs to prioritize. What are the prioritized important things? Better results and better research outputs, better infrastructure, better programs, better sports facilities. So better student support systems and better placements and better training programs or better green initiatives. A lot of things are there. And for this, they have to identify some of the benchmarks. And if you look at the kind of strategies also, it is there. One of the benchmarking parameter functions of the IQAC also it is there. So based on the benchmarking, we can have the kind of various things, various improvements. Let us say IQAC may have to evolve mechanisms of procedure for performance, efficient and progressive performance of academic and administrative financial tasks. And a lot of colleges, they are unable to pay the kind of salaries on time. So for that also, most of the managements, they will not entertain the even principal or maybe some kind of IQAC people. But as a IQAC cell, you can analyze. How you can analyze? In criteria 6, you have the kind of audited statements are financial support given to various people, or maybe internal auditing is happening or not. Your institutional audited statement, you can say revenue and expenditure. So income expenditure statement, you can look at it, how the spending is happening. And you can also, like randomly also, you can, if we are having 1,000 students, your fees is this much. So that is the revenue. And for every month, this is the salary into 12 months. This is the expenditure. So the amount, the budget allotted for the infrastructure is this much, budget allotted for the research facility is this much, budget allotted for the faculty welfare measures and faculty development are this much. Like this, you can also segregate, you can suggest. You can suggest it. If they consider it, it is a good thing. If they are not considering it, you can be silent. So those activities also you can look into. That is called, that's why I mentioned about financial task also you can look into here. And modern teaching pedagogy and maintenance of support structure, institutional improvement. You have to look at the focus of institutional improvement and various policies and practices adopted or not. And the main thing is we should have, the IQAC should have benchmarking is one of the tool. So benchmarking for the metric, benchmarking for the criteria, and benchmarking for the kind of one activity, benchmarking for the institution. So these are the things we can do it. And in this also, what is benchmarking? This is a definition. And we can, how we can start. Let's say we'll come to types of benchmarking. Internal, competitive, functional, and general benchmarking will be there. And the metric benchmarking is there. Diagnostic benchmarking is there. Process benchmarking is there. If you go to benchmarking, internal, external, competitive, non-competitive, functional, and generic. And if you look at the kind of flow chart, you can see not benchmarking to this one. If you want to have the kind of execution, you should have the kind of benchmarking in these aspects. Competitive, functional. Competitive means with other institutions. What kind of functional? Like if you want to have the kind of research functional activities, how we are going to do. These are coming under process benchmarking. And here, the example benchmarking used to direct compare both internally and externally with other organizations. Diagnostic means probe benchmarking. So you have some kind of, you can ask, you can take the feedback from various stakeholders, questionnaire. Based on that, you can identify where we are there, whether it is implemented or not. Process benchmarking, it is one of the important thing which results in the kind of rewards, right? And here in the process benchmarking also comparative benchmarking, which seeks and identify practices, performance gaps with direct competitors. And functional benchmarking, where the comparisons are made with organizations from the same type using a similar process. Generic benchmarking, which look to identify and transfer innovative best practice from one type to another. Group benchmarking, where organizations of various types come together, benchmark some process of common interest. Benchmarking methodology, if you look at identify the kind of parameter, form a benchmarking team for each thing. What we have done, 450 action points, curricular aspects, and we have divided to various people and analyze the current status. Based on that, we can have the kind of benchmarking. Partners, where partners means within the institution, outside also, undertake the benchmarking and identify the best practices, gap analysis, and again initiate the actions. And the most important thing is assess and monitor. If any lagging is there, immediately we have to give the support from the higher authorities and as well as from the IQAC cell. So these are benchmarking aspects. Planning phase will be there. Identifying the benchmarking subject, partners, determine the data collection. Analysis phase is there. Determine the composite gap, project further performance, integration. These are important thing. Communicate the results with the various units, various departments. Establish the functional goals. Last one is action phase. Develop action plans, implement plans, and monitor results. And recalibrate the benchmarks. If they reach the benchmark, the next level is going to be like this. And here steps in benchmarking: start, define the process, data collection, comparison, data analysis, action, and repeat the process. And if we have role of IQAC here, the first important thing, implementation of best practice, continuous process of measuring the things, setting the goals. Just I want to give the benchmarking. When we have done this aspect, sir, what our team has developed this kind of benchmarking. This portion is, sir, this is visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, we have done this aspect for affiliated colleges, sir, from our team has developed. So these are all the, if you look at the parameters, 34 quantitative, sir, affiliated colleges. When we have done this is around 6 months back, we have done this aspect, sir. We have developed our benchmarking. We have sister group institutions are there. What we have done is by looking into the various competitor, various organizations, those who are already accredited by NAC, we have derived benchmarks, sir. And recently, for 1 week, 10 days back, NAC has given the benchmarks. We have given this mark. We have compared. Out of 25 metrics, we compared. 34 metrics we compared. Only four places, our benchmarking is less when compared to the NAC. Why we have given highest number here? Let us say, example I will quote, sir. Number of validated courses, I mentioned about 120 to 150 validated courses. Our NAC has given 25. We don't know what kind of DVV, how they are going to consider our documentation. So we should have the kind of 20 to 25% of reduction. If I give 100, we have to assume that 25 or 30 will be removed by the DVV. Why? Because they are doing this entire aspect from where the various places. We are not interacting with the DVV physically. If they consider, it's okay. If they're not considered, sometimes they will consider, sometimes they will not consider. So based on that, we have divided, and the kind of difference is only the 4 metrics. So this is one of the aspects we have done. We have done it for our university also. We have done it for our autonomous college also. This aspect, and we have compared. Recently, NAC has done under this document. Recently, some of you have attended Kumaraguru College of Technology, sir. There we have presented our how we are going to put the benchmark for autonomous colleges also, right, sir? And this is one of the examples, sir, benchmarking how we can give the values for various metrics. And the benefits of the benchmarking, sir. And if you see here, we have to give the realistic targets and a reduction in the resistance. What if you give any kind of target or benchmarking, most of the people, most of the section, they won't accept. We have to convince them. If you have this one, some kind of improvement will be there. And we have to have some kind of technical, we have to use the kind of technical tools, innovative ideas. We have to invite the ideas from various sections of the stakeholders of the institution. And we have to utilize experience and knowledge internally or externally. And we have to have the kind of tools, various tools for continuous improvement. We should identify the gap. And at the same time, we have to have the kind of better understanding. We have to involve some students also, wherever it is possible. And a systematic framework we have to develop, and we have to analyze, we have to evaluate the things, and we can achieve our targets, benchmarking. And role of IQAC. Next, we will come to our next one, sir. Quality manual. Quality manual, right now, generally what will happen is, as per ISO, we should have the kind of quality manual, and we have to prepare the manual of the institution by looking into various standards. So here, if you see, to set standards for curriculum design and teaching, learning, research management, output, student progression, everything, innovative practices, and we should have the kind of recommendations from the governing body and other things, academic and non-academic matters, identifying the benchmark based on best practices, develop mechanisms and collect the feedback from the stakeholders, studies on recent developments, arrange orientation programs for teaching and non-teaching staff, and areas of quality assurance to be covered in quality manual. Aligning the programs with the institutional vision, mission, and goals, objectives. Right now, NEP is one of the important parameter. Modify the programs with changing the global trends is one of the important thing. It is applicable to autonomous as well as the universities. New programs and redesigning the curriculum, developing the adequate choices and entry-level assessment, introduction of remedial classes, feedback from experts, value education, environmental issues, extension activities, academic calendar, workload allotment, learning, teaching methodologies, evaluation methods, all these things, communication skills, we have to research committee, we have to cover in the quality manual, and encourage the faculty members, welfare measures are there, extension of projects is there, student support system, staff recruitment policies, and identification of best practices, benchmarking of best practices, and inclusion of practices, stakeholder relations, all these things we have to cover in the model, in the quality. These are the one of the quality models. And if you look at this, program, contents, organization, these are goals and aims, we can cover curriculum design and assessment. And output also you can see here, satisfaction from the students, market, alumni, and the society, and the opinion of the staff members. And you can also see drop rate and other things also, graduation rates, cost per. So this is one of the interesting thing we have to measure IQAC, cost per student. We can also call it as unit cost, right, sir? And IQAC to develop articulate vision and mission and objective of the vision institution. If we see here, vision of the institution already prepared, some kind of refinement is required. That also you can see. Why? Because a lot of reforms are happening at the national level in terms of the kind of national education. In line with also, we can also suggest for any kind of refinement in the vision. And recently one college have conducted some kind of events. They developed vision and mission by inviting the expert outside people and to develop some vision, mission, and value statements kind of thing. And they involved around 20 senior faculty members. They conducted workshops, and these kind of workshops are also you can organize from IQAC. Why? Because and already vision is prepared. Don't confine to the vision is prepared, and you can also have some kind of experience by calling the experts how they can derive or develop the vision and mission of the institution, as well as the mission and vision of the department, and also vision and mission of the IQAC cell also we can have. So vision statement or the vision statement values, example, the goals we can prepare. And the role of IQAC in developing quality policy, this is essential for any institution. And if they involve themselves to prepare of this quality, it will give a lot of improvements, sir. And we have to look into all these aspects while preparing the policy. And the examples of quality policy, if you see here, the college is committed and imparting quality education, training to lead degree in engineering and management to aims at being a global institution through continuous improvement. These are the quality policy and the quality objectives. They have to fulfill the requirements of AICT and other norms, upgradation of teaching facilities. Example number 2, pursue global standards of excellence in all endeavors. These are quality policy. IQAC should have these kind of aspects. This is not related to the institution, but at the same time, IQAC should involve for preparation of this quality policy, their vision and mission. And the quality, IQAC should address the quality issues of the external quality assurance, curricular aspect, admission, teaching, learning, seminars. If you look at all the parameters, sir, teaching, learning, seminars, evaluation, research, consultancy, extension activities, infrastructure, maintenance, all these things will be there in NAC. These parameters are there in NBA. These parameters there, most of the parameters are related to NIRF, ABET, QS ranking, or Green Initiatives ranking. All the parameters are available. Area ranking. So these are all the external quality assurance system. So if you have the kind of predefined benchmarking for these aspects, so you can compete with the kind of gigantic institutions or the kind of reputed institutions or those who are already playing major role in the NRF or in the NAC or MBA kind of thing. Here also IQAC should have a proper plan. So those already they are involving themselves to fulfill the requirements of the curricular after admissions. But at the same time, they should have the kind of roadmap and they should define their benchmarking to reach the next level. And institutional accountability on behalf of the institution, whatever the kind of standards put by the outside agencies. So IQAC has to fulfill, it has to bring those things and priorities. And here also professional accountability, legal accountability, social accountability. From the IQAC section, it is not only confined to the institution, sir. We can go for some kind of outreach extension activities from the institution. We can involve some of the students, and the institution also comply the legal requirements. For all these things, on behalf of the institution, the IQAC should own up these aspects. The approaches measuring input model is there, effective model is there, and the return model, investment macro model. Customer need means our customers are students. The final, last but not least, this is the last slide, the benefits. If you have the best IQAC, if you have the committed IQAC, if you have the kind of passionate IQAC team, and if you involve yourself for the growth of the institution, individually you will grow, the team will grow, the institution will grow, all the stakeholders of the institution also will have the benefit. If you have the proper IQAC, you will have the quality enhancement of the institution. You can also internalize the quality culture. All good practices can be adopted across the institution. You can take the best decision for the proper functioning, and as well as you can compete with the other institutions, and you are the main point of contact. So who is taking care of the institution to the next level? And you should have the kind of dynamic, you should adopt the quality changes. You should adopt the kind of dynamic system. Example, NEP is there. Immediately you have to read the kind of national education policy. And few days back, credit framework work also released by the UGC. Those things also you can read. And what my sincere observation, my sincere request to all the IQAC participants, or maybe the participants who are there, you please read the kind of manuals, the procedure laid down, or maybe the kind of approval process handbooks, or maybe the benchmarks, the data templates, standard operating procedures given by the various accreditation or statutory bodies, so that you will have a lot of knowledge. And those things, you can divide the entire manual into few parts. you ask your team members to read and you ask them to present it. So that what will happen is among yourself, you will have a lot of knowledge. You can share the knowledge across the stakeholders. Sometimes you can involve external people for sharing the knowledge or maybe gaining the knowledge. The final one is proper documentation will be there that will be presented to the outside people without any kind of any deficiency. The same thing can be communicated, and the overall it will lead to the quality enhancement as well as the kind of quality assurance and sustenance. Reaching A plus, it will not suffice, and we have to maintain A plus forever, or maybe from A plus to we have to go for the quality next level, that is A plus plus, or at least you have to maintain A plus. So for this entire thing, sir, NAC has given a best book, and all the people should read this one, sir. Quality Management System in Higher Education. My sincere thanks to Varghese ji and all the others, sir. It is available, sir. You please purchase. The book cost is around 400. So the reference, the entire presentation is based on this one only, sir. So the last time concluding, sir, quality is not an act, it is a habit. IQAC should have this kind of habit. Aristotle mentioned about this, sir. Thank you, sir. Signing off, Dr. Ramakrishna.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, dear participants, if you have any questions, you please post the same in chat box, or otherwise you please unmute and ask the same. So our resource person will answer the questions.
Respected sir,
Yeah, please.
can you give in a single line what about the forthcoming formative assessment implementation that is going to be takes place in the near future? So
Formative or summative assessment, sir?
some summative assessment or
Sir, yeah. So formative and summative assessment. Formative assessment is a continuous assessment, sir. Right now, earlier we have a concept of what we have. Mid examinations are there, assignments are there. Right now, what we have done is we have conducted some examinations based on the level 1 and level 2, sir. Understanding level, remembering level. So these are the two things we have done. Right now, National Education Policy, what they are expecting is formative assessment from if we have 8 months time, or maybe you have 4 months time as semester. In the semester, you have to define, let us say, all the modules, all the units you can cover from the first. Let us say you can fix the targets: target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4, target 5. In the target 1, you have to give questions such as they have to apply, they have to use their knowledge to resolve the problems, complex engineering problems at apply level. It is a continuous thing, and at the same time, it is a comprehensive continuous assessment, sir. We have to measure the students' skills and their knowledge and their attributes at higher order level. Higher order level means, as per the Bloom's taxonomy, it is at the level 3, sir. Level 3, level 4, level 5. We have to assess. It is a continuous kind of thing. Otherwise, now after 2 months we are having exam. After 3 months we are having exam. Those kind of concepts will not be there.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, sir?
No, sir. Let's wind up the session, sir. To summarize, so Dr. Ramakrishna sir started the session with how idea of quality evolved from early 1950s. What are the various challenges faced by higher education institutes, especially student enrollment ratio, funding received from central government, marketing demands, and then why quality is required as of now in 21st century, why quality is required. Especially he explained the same with the help of 4 E's in excellence: excellence in resources, excellence in reputation, excellence in outcome, excellence in content. And then he elaborated about so how NAC is ensuring the quality measurement in terms of 7 criteria. He explained the metrics in terms of affiliated colleges as well as autonomous colleges. 55 metrics for affiliated colleges, 34 qualitative and 21 quantitative. 34 quantitative and 21 qualitative metrics. And then, as you rightly said, internal quality assurance cell is one of the nodal agency. So we have to ensure the process, what is happening in the institution. So especially in order to ensure the quality assurance inside the college, we have to follow some models. Either we can go for ISO 9000 series or EFQM or BSc. So whatever the institution is preferring, we can go any one of the model. And then you nicely explained the establishment of IQAC, what is the need of IQAC. So how we going to maintain the quality. So not only maintaining, we have to enhance. As you rightly pointed out earlier, initially your university score 3.02. So during the year of 2015, afterwards you have to enhance your criteria to A+. So what you carried out, you clearly explained along with the case study of 450 statements. So how we going to achieve? So it's a laborious process. So kudos to your entire team, sir. So IQAC team. So that is clearly visible, sir. So as you rightly said, we have to maintain the quality and to enhance the quality. So for enhancing quality, you brainstorm along with your teammates and you sat down for nearly a month and you find out the 450 points we have to address. So all the points you addressed, as you said, only 16 criteria is only not addressed. It's a really a tough job, sir. You people done a better job. And then you mentioned about the composition of IQAC for upcoming institutions going to accredit to be NAC. How we going to make a composition IQAC? 50% industry persons you have to be there, 50% academicians need to be there. And then one more thing you mentioned is principles of IQAC, you have to follow Deming cycle, plan, do, check, act. Always you have to go for a plan, do, check, act as per Deming cycle. And then you broadly explained about SWOT analysis, and then for continuous improvement. So what we have to do? So it's not a continual improvement. Always you have to go for continuous improvement. For that, we have to do some feedbacks. So you nicely explained your college case study, real-time case studies. You show with the help of a university website. And then you elaborate a lot about benchmarking. So why benchmarking is needed, what type of benchmarking you have to prefer, either it's an internal benchmarking or competitive benchmarking. So benchmarking methodology, benchmarking process, benchmark level, as well as benchmarking benefits. So it's a very nice session, sir. As you quoted earlier, quality is not an act, it's a habit. So we all will try to follow in our daily practice, sir. So thanks a lot, sir, for your valuable presentation, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So participants are requested to fill the feedback form, which is available in the chat box. So the feedback form will be available shortly for 15 minutes.
Chocolate, sir, next.
I am leaving, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So participants are requested to join for session 3 by Mr. Jagannathan on the topic unlocking institutional best practices. So you all are requested to join by sharply by 2:25 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.